Yo, what's good, guys? We are back at it again with another MLB The Show video for you guys, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how you can get any captain boost in the game without having to start the captain. So where this comes in the most handy would be like if you are on the Corbin Carroll captain and you don't want to use a guy that has 60 power against lefties and like 70 power against righties. This would help you out there. You don't have to use them for 6 innings and then substitute them. This would have came in handy a lot at the end of season 1, where a lot of people were still running that Nolan Arenado team, and Nolan was like the 8th or 9th hitter for virtually everybody. Just statistically, he didn't really match up at that point. Buxton could have ran Buxton on like Legend. So there's a lot of good scenarios for this glitch. It probably will get patched, so I would urge you guys, after you kind of make a lineup with this glitch, I would try to keep that captain, try not to change that captain around too much, because after it is patched, SES probably can't go back and fix your lineup, but it won't be possible to do anymore. So I got this from Pitching Rebel. He made a video where he didn't really show it, but he did kind of describe the process. So I'm going to actually show you guys, give you guys an in-depth kind of tutorial on how you can go about doing this glitch. It may get patched, I don't know. Last year they patched a rather harmless captain glitch, so I'm sure this year it will probably be basically the same. And yeah, let's get into it, right? So what I'm gonna do is probably the Corbin Carroll team first. I'll probably go through a couple for you guys just because you know, never hurts to see the process multiple times. If you didn't know how to change captains still, that's how you change captains, at least these season 2 cornerstone captains. So we're gonna go Corbin Carroll. I've tried out a couple of them. I can't really make a lineup, a video going over the best lineups yet, because I don't own every single card yet. So it's gonna take a little while for me to experiment with the best lineup, best captains, whatnot, stuff like that. So I'm gonna put him at third because he's not going to be in the lineup anyway. If I go over here and go to season 2 captains, we will pull him up. He will be at third base. And now for the fun part. If you direct your attention to the left side of the screen here, I've got my phone on AirPlay right now, and what I'm going to show you guys is how you can do this. So we're going to go to our Carroll lineup. We're going to go to hitting captain, view captain. It's going to highlight him primarily because he's one of the only captains in the lineup. It's doing Santana right now just because I have him in there, but usually it'll just show you the one that you have in the lineup. We will prepare to move him. We'll move him. We'll click assign right when we move him, right after we move him. And then when we tab back in, you will see that the boost is now active. So if I kind of hide this now, you'll see Trout is getting the boost. Rollins is getting the everybody that qualifies is getting the boost. That lineup's not super well made for the boost, but you can see Trey Turner, Jackson Holiday, David Fry's getting a different boost. He's getting a Texas captain boost. But if I go ahead and just kind of go boosted by captain, you'll see that we have a lot of guys here. We have Ellie, we have Derek Jeter at third base. It's rather lackluster. You pretty much have to go to Tatis. Catcher, there's basically nobody. You would have to either wild card somebody or go for somebody else. First base, there's not really anybody. But like I said, it's not a best lineup video necessarily. That will come in due time. You know, Olness, Nico Goodrum, people like that. Second base, I do want to mention this card because this card's so slept on. Trevor Story, absolute dog. Also gets the Texas captain, Joe Nathan. Look at that. That is almost a perfect player, other than probably the power right is a little lower than you'd probably want it to be. But basically a perfect player. This Wyatt Langford gets crazy with this boost. Trout gets a lot better. Rollins is decent. Rand gets a little better against lefties. So it's a very good boost. I don't even think this is necessarily the max tier of the boost. I think I need a couple more players that qualify. But yeah, absolutely crazy. This glitch is super tough. You can see Corbin Carroll on the bench. Don't have to play him at all. You load into a game, you're going to have all these boosts active. So Carroll, more for like my Hall of Fame legend people. If you want to do like Devers, then I'll run you through that. Like I said, if you have a lineup that you want, try not to like exchange too much or like change captains, just because if it does get patched, then you'll be SOL, and you know there's nothing you can really do about it at that point. So we'll do a different captain for this lineup. Who do I want to do? Why not? We could do like Cedric Mullins, I guess. You could do this with team captains, but there's like really no point. So we'll do Cedric Mullins, just adding him to the lineup there. And then I'll just hit unassign. And we will pull our companion app back up. So this is a different lineup. This is our Devers lineup, but don't actually have Devers, so not named the best necessarily. So if we go over to hidden captain here, we will hit view captains. We will get ready to move him. We'll move him. We'll hit assign right after we move him. Back out afterwards. And he should be active. We'll go boosted by captain. And you will see that all the 30-30 guys now qualify. So we can get Trout in. We can run Larry Walker if we want to. Probably better off wild carding him there. First base, nobody really. If I had like the new Soriano, he would be super tough at second base. Let me go ahead and get this off the screen. Shortstop, you got Mookie Betts. So obviously, one thing you'd probably want to do is like wild card Mookie, probably. Third base, J-Ram looks very good with this boost. Probably not Chipper Jones, but very good. DH, you know, you got guys like Jimmy Rollins, Eric Davis, Bagwell, Willie Mays. I feel like Willie would probably have to play with this boost. Probably throw him out in the outfield for one of these guys. And then you probably use this last slot on like 99 Larry Walker, probably. And then that's a very solid team. And then we have kind of the bench. You can do whatever you want with. Kind of adding these guys in and out. And you can see that Lindor's insane. Mullins is a little more playable than like Corbin Carroll, right? But if you're on Hall of Fame, if you're on Legend, you don't really want to be using a card with 73 contact. That's not a great defensive center fielder. So you can kind of get away with using him here. And then this is a unique lineup, right? You don't load in too many games. Obviously, imagine this is that 97 Soriano, not a gold one. But you don't load into too many games seeing a lineup like this necessarily. You can see that Larry Walker's pretty crazy with this boost. Willie Mays pretty crazy. Mike Trout's pretty nasty, honestly. That's very good clutch. This Cedric is one of the few captains that kind of gives clutch now. 12, 12, and 8 clutch. So definitely helps the lineup out a little bit. If we can get some better cards, some better players to kind of make this team, he would be honestly insane. So I'll run back through the glitch one time. Obviously, you can't do it with pitching captains just because of the nature of them. You can see that I have a Santana lineup here. Ultimate degeneracy right here. You can see Bernie makes that team. It's not as good as it once was. They completely took the clutch off the tier 3 of the Santana team. So if you have cards with bad clutch, like probably this Lindor, Winsel Perez isn't great. There's some rather bad clutch switch hitters in the game. But we'll take Santana out for now. The new Tony Clark makes this team. So that's interesting. Or I guess I don't have to take him out. I can just unassign. So we'll unassign. We will back out of our companion app one more time here. This is our Santana lineup. This one's actually named properly. Hitting captain, view. And then we will move him and then assign right after we move. And then bang, we'll back out. We'll come back in. And you can see that our boost is active. He's now on the bench. So if you didn't want to use Santana, he's probably one of the few exceptions where the captain card is a very usable card. But if for some reason you just didn't want to use them, if you wanted to get some other switch hitters in there, you got like Santander that can fill in. You got the new Tony Clark that can fill in. He looks like a monster on the Santana team. Do wish he got a little bit of clutch, but is what it is. And that is the new glitch for you guys. So I would run it up before it gets patched. I would probably reserve a couple lineups with some captains you think might be good. Hopefully it doesn't get patched, and in the future we'll just be able to make God Squad lineups all the time. But in general, this is how you do it. I would try again to not necessarily exchange your captains all the time. Out of these captains, I have looked at the Giancarlo team. I've looked at the Devers team. If you're an all-star player, this Devers team is cool. Obviously I put Cedric Mullins here, so it kind of wiped a lot of the progress, but the Devers team's kind of crazy. It's like 120 power around the whole diamond, but the problem with it is the contact's not the greatest, so it's more of an all-star team. If you're a Hall of Fame plus player, Corbin Carroll is probably going to be your guy. I mean, most people that were already running on Hall of Famer Legend were running the Carroll boost and using him. The fact that you don't have to use him anymore is a huge plus because you can sub in guys in the outfield like Jimmy Rollins, or even if you want to use like a wild card slot. I was just kind of checking, making sure nobody else was out there. Honus Wagner, Nico Goodrum, Brian Roberts in center field if you don't have Jimmy Rollins. There's options. There's definitely options for this team. Again, like I said, doesn't really work with pitching captains. I would take a look at this Joe Nathan captain. Not only do I think Joe Nathan's very slept on as a reliever, he boosts Daniel Bard, who I think everybody basically has and is one of the best options if you need an outlier sinker guy out the bullpen. Boosts his Hagen Smith card that a lot of people do enjoy so far. And then also boost other Texas guys, like I believe Jackson Holiday is Texas, also gets a Corbin Carroll boost, so you can see he is max contact basically. A card like David Fry, whose swing I really enjoy, he gets boosted, and then you can kind of double dip a little bit with this Trevor Story. So I think it's a unique lineup to run, but I don't want to ramble too much. I don't want to artificially inflate this video too much. You get the point. This is just kind of how you do the glitch. Open your companion app, move them first, then assign them right after, and then sort by cap boosted. And if you see cards, then you know it worked. If you don't, just try again. It can be a little finicky. I had one take of this video where like 4 times in a row it didn't take. So just be patient. It does work, and I will update if it does get patched in the future. Till next time, if this did help you guys, I would urge you to like and subscribe. Till next time, peace.